Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and non-binaries. It's your favorite dinosaur coming back from a hiatus on this channel again. Before we dive into this topic, for those who still stick to this channel, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I've been unsure whether I should continue animations, and I realized that I don't have the motivation or time to do those things anymore. So I'm sorry if this is uncalled for, but I hope you guys will support me on this decision to do commentary instead. You can watch my old animations on old videos you can view, although beware, there is some content that are a bit immature, but that's because I did dumb shit when I was younger. Anyways, let's get back to the topic. Trigger warning, I will discuss topics that can be shown in a video. If you don't know who Rebornica is, they were a really popular content creator who participated in FNAF fandom's glory days, although they don't go by Rebornica anymore and changed their alias a lot due to them rebranding. But it's also how they struggle with their dissociative identity disorder, as they claimed. The reason why I bring up their very old name is the fact they were well known for it and it stuck with them for a very long time. But throughout this video, I will call them Bones and the pronouns they, them. As you older viewers know, I was a big fan of their works, especially their FNAF and Pilot AU, but I stopped supporting their works in 2018 due to recent callouts from a blog called Nefskull Critical. Although the blog got deleted and I personally forgot why, but it was a really helpful blog and I could have got more information from it to help this video. A lot of Bones' allegations or receipts have been deleted off the internet or archived somewhere, so I did my best to do as much research, and as a bystander, I will try to remember certain events of what happened from years ago, and I will read off of a lot of sources that people have claimed. I will show proof as much as I can in order to confirm these facts. The reason why I decided to make this video is to spread awareness and to summarize their works on the internet, not to cause any drama. If there does happen to be misinformation, please know it's not on purpose to slander Bones. Please correct me if I have proof. I will link all sources I have used in the description below. Their fame was widespread during their time on Tumblr around 2014 to 2015, and created many FNAF characters of their own designs, such as Max Schmidt, a security guard as well as a victim of the bite of 87, that happens to look like this. To widen their creations, they made a lot of hilarious comics to please their audience, and at one point inspired young artists. One of their well-known creations that they left behind was Purple Guy, aka Vincent. They named him Vincent before Purple Guy could have an official name, which is William Afton. Their designs became widely known that many fanarts have formed, as well as ships, such as Mike x Jeremy and Vincent x Brown Guy. Until this day, people still adore this AU and even have it as a comfort interest. That's how big Bones impacted the FNAF fandom after they left. So if you see a gray character with a hat that says security, it's either fucking Homestuck or a FNAF character. I choose a FNAF character though. Oh, you know what? I forgot Bones was his Homestuck fan too. For this section, since I wasn't there when they left, I'll read from the Tumblr source from the user The Nutcrackers of what happened. I see that many don't know as much as I thought, so I tried to shed some light over what happened. I call it Rebornica because it's just the name I'm used to calling them. This started back in 2015, when Rebornica announced they leave the FNAF fandom, because many claim he was a supporter for making the character Vincent, who's not even I think, and some other things. One day, Rebornica announced this, and they started to leave the fandom, saying that, oh, the fandom is ruined now, things like that or worse, with many sending much of the hate because of the decision that he made. Which to me personally isn't good. People can make any kind of decision they wish. This is my speculation, but when I was researching about Bones, I came across with their non-civil work stash from years ago, and some of them contained drawings of one of the OCs being, so I guess people found that out and tied it with Vince's characterizations of being and Bones being a supporter. But it could also be this post where Annie claimed they remember this era of Vincent. I don't have proof of this since the video was deleted a day or three after Vincent was drawn. I know it was in either 2013 or 2014, but I do remember people were fangirling over how they wanted to be assaulted, fucked in eye socket by him, etc., and Bones just casually posted that video with no shame at all, although it's obvious why he's deleted anyways. Although this is a touchy subject, not to mention controversial, I won't go into further detail. And I don't like the idea of bringing up stupid shit a person did from the past and putting it against them in their will. But in this case, it's different. Bones constantly somehow repeated the mistakes, but I'll explain in the next section soon. A user, the Debunk Onion on Tumblr claimed, and I quote, "They actually did leave around March 2015. If I recall correctly, they said they were going to leave the fandom, decided to give it one more chance, then gave the AU to Cam, and he finished the story based off the events of FNAF 3. Cam was one of Bones' old friends and now has the AU in his possession." So while the discourse died down, Bones shifted into something new and decided to recycle their old FNAF designs into similar but different characters of their own. They implemented those new characters in their already existing AU called Pilot. Pilot is an AU where all humans and robots live together in harmony. In that case, Pilot, one of their OCs, represent the universe. For example, they replaced Vincent as someone named Vince, who's a more thoughtful and charismatic character. His role plays as a protagonist in an existing video game in the universe of Pilot called Night Terror. Night Terror is where the hero Vince helps children's phobias by entering their minds to fight against anthropomorphic personifications of their fears. Their reincarnation is similar to their FNAF AU qualities, but they wish to not bring up the fact due to the trauma and pretend they were their own person. If any of their fans bring up anything FNAF related to them, Bones gets aggressive about it. They could calmly explain it to them to read their FAQ on their blog, or inform them that they absolutely don't want anything to do with it. Instead, they answer some horrifying things. Since Bones is also known for creating a lot of OCs, what's up with them for not using them? I could list a few possibilities. One of them is stealing designs from their ex-friends or significant other. Yes, you heard me right. Here's some examples. Bones even admitted that they're ripping off designs from their previous friend or partner or just some random people. You can read more on this information below. But one of the characters they have actually stolen was from their ex-friend, Foo X or Foo, back in 2014. And that character is Hacker. Bones labeled the character as an ex-boyfriend and or abuser. The status is related to them and their ex-friend's relationship. There was a call-out post on it before, but it has been deleted off Google Docs, so the link doesn't work. But thankfully, I found a summarized version of what this call-out is based on. I quote from the doc. Basically, Dio's best friend, known as Boo, at the time decides that she wants to break up a ship with one of Dio's characters, which causes Dio to pull off one of the biggest temper tantrums imaginable, threatening suicide multiple times and being very aggressive towards Boo because of this. Aside from that episode, it shows how Dio really treated her behind the Tumblr scene with lots of manipulating, obsession, possessiveness, and abuse. I will link the document in the description, although it's pretty old and I'm not sure if Bones still stalks him till this day. But why am I bringing this up? It should show how Bones would stoop this low towards their ex-partners as revenge. But how do we know Bones threatened suicide to manipulate their audience? Yikes, Bones. And here's some that were not too long ago. This is where they have moved to Twitter. Bones has been a hypocrite over and over again, and if they were young back then, 16 by the way, they still continue to use suicide as a threat to their victims. At this moment, they're in their 20s, a full-grown adult. Although, speaking of ownership, since I mentioned Bones gave away their FNAF AU to someone else, they still get upset by the fact people use their old designs. I'm not sure why Bones would get upset when they don't own it anymore. And they claim that they don't want to do anything with it. But either way, this situation happened twice. The first situation was when a fan had announced that they created a FNAF dating simulator, specifically a dating simulator of the security guards, and the designs were obviously recognizable to whom it belonged to. Sadly, Bones caught wind of this and for some reason announced to the followers that the creator doesn't have the permission to use the designs. Bones could have privately discussed to them about it, but just had to display it out there, enabling a lot of their white knights to bother the creator about it. Since I was one of Bones' followers then, I politely asked them to take it down. Hello, sorry for the rude messages you've been receiving. Mixed Bones actually discovered that you have a dating sim that has their style of the security guards. They request if you can change them completely. I'm sorry about the hate messages, I hope you feel better. Bones doesn't feel good about this also, so please take it down and at least remake it to your own characters. From what I know now, they successfully still have their game up and running, but they made some slight alterations on their security guard designs. It is still heavily referenced to who they are supposed to be. The second situation was more well known than the last. This discourse takes place on DeviantArt 2018, where a big fan of Bones has drawn the designs of the FNAF security guards very well. It was heavily like their old art style that had adapted into them making comics of their own. Although it was never proven that they traced, it still looked really identical. Again, Bones caught them and set their fellows to massively harass them into taking down the work. The creator was incredibly heartbroken during the aftermath. Everyone, I may have to deactivate. I'm sorry it's come to this. Rebornica and Bones have apparently found me and are sending their watchers to me because they're ticked off about me using their old guard designs into my own things. Their username is Shy Guy Princess, I believe. Things aren't going to get any better from here. I need support, but I doubt that will help anything. I'm honestly horrified and saddened right now. I hate that it's coming to this. I just wanted to enjoy making art. I will also read a Reddit post from the FNAF community to give a more different perspective from the drama. I know the user, but I'm not gonna say the name because they have contact with me and have told me not to share their name if I ever told people about this drama. I talked to the user because they deactivated notes and they were really upset, like crying upset that someone she looked up to for years was telling her, "Fuck you, you're a thief." I even talked to Rebornica on Twitter about a resolution to this, and Rebornica constantly pulled the victim card, and fans of her were also coming into my conversation with her and telling me that I'm a fucking jackass for going against Rebornica. In the end, she deleted those tweets about the drama and later deleted her Twitter, possibly making a new one I've yet to find. Rebornica's a bully who stole back characters she didn't even want anything to do with, and forced a really good DA artist to shut her account, or else she'll get her fans to assault her and port her account until it's banned. All because she was using her characters and Rebornica wanted no one to use them. All because they're a spoiled brat. Afterwards, she made it seem like nothing happened and painted herself in a positive light by deleting the tweets and making sure no one finds out how this was treating this user. Ironically enough, we will now jump to 2019, where Bones decided to revive their FNAF AU. Yes, you heard me right. From being aggressive towards anyone they mentioned FNAF to them, to stealing back their AU and revamp it into their own again. There's almost no difference to the designs except the fact they have a new look for doll and purple guy that's named Andres. It's really enough that no one brings up the fact that they definitely drew FNAF again in 2017. Only a short time though. I don't remember much of what relationships and roles they changed for the security guards, but I do remember that they made Purple Guy and Mike stud due to actual FNAF theories. Either way, they made comics as they did before with many gags but also serious lore. It was all going smoothly until their downfall of late 2019. Sears drama has risen to the surface once again, but this time Bones decides to disappear off the face of the internet. So how did they do this exactly? They faked their own death. They got one of their friends to keep up with this lie to their other friends. The reason why they're faking their own suicide is not to apologize to anyone and play the victim. After all they have done, they still play the card and refuse to write a genuine apology to everyone they have harmed. Of course, Bones victims caught wind of this and leaked a lot of information regarding their plans. As far as I know, they have rebranded once again, but I won't give out their name, as they don't deserve the attention. One thing for sure is that they are doing well and are still drawing, probably still recovering from the discourse they were in. But in regards with the pilot AU, I quote, "I think pilot webcomic needs to be dropped and I should start with something small instead. Not only has the webcomic left a bad taste in my mouth due to associations and whatnot, but I've been so focused on myself this year that I look at my project and I don't think I want to tackle it anymore, at least for now. In the future, pilot can come back, maybe not even in webcomic form. I'll see about it. But you know me, my brain is way too active for this own good when it comes to stories." I guess pilot won't be seen for a while, and no genuine apology from them. And that's that. A lot of stuff really happened during the past decade for them. I'm surprised they kept this up for a while considering how bad their mental health is, and I have a lot of mixed feelings for them, as I feel disappointed and disgusted. It also feels controversial to say who's in the right or wrong here. A lot of the discourse brings up past stuff Bones did when they were a minor, but I think it's necessary to call them out on it in order for them to not repeat their actions, but not cancel. Yet here we are with Bones still manipulating their victims, even as an adult. Pilot has so much potential characters, it's such a shame really. Considering that some of the OCs are really good, like Mahogany and Vendetta. Also, looking back at the OCs, do you guys remember Hocus Pocus? I realize how attractive like he is when he's in human form. This man's a whole dilf. And if my friends are watching this, you know I'm a big dilf fucker. Just look at him, bruh. Oh wait, I just remembered that I also used to be a Michael fucker. I think that's where my love for dilf started. Crazy, in it? Oh, anyways, kind of getting off topic. Anyone who was involved in the drama with Bones, my apologies for all of you. I hope you guys are doing okay. Nobody deserves to be taken advantage of. Thank you for being brave and speaking against him. If you guys want to look more into the discourse, remember that the links are in the description. We will not forget what Bones has done to their harmless victims. But most importantly, don't witch hunt or harass Bones for what they did. What they did was incredibly wrong, but we need to remember that they're human too. Thank you for watching.